Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. So I'm going to make sure I say the right year and month from now on. Anyway, it's been very rainy today here at the homestead. You can see the clouds, very overcast. And so we've had a lot more meltage going on today. It's been in the 40s. So, I want to show you this real quick. And I made this call a while ago, and I'm right on the money with this. So I'm going to show you from here. I got all this wood on this part here still, and I said we'll get through January with what wood we have here, and we will. There's no doubt in my mind that we'll still have plenty of wood for all of this part, and then we still have all of this, and we have the wood over here. So we're going to be good to go as far as wood goes for this season. And like I said, my neighbor still owes me a face cord too, so that's not a big deal. So we'll be in good shape that way. So anyway, we also, believe it or not, even on a rainy, overcast day, and I'll show you the rain right on the solar panels here. We still have brought in 0.9 so far. Yesterday, I think we ended up bringing in 1.1 kilowatt hours for the day on a very overcast day yesterday. So, but we've had a lot of rain, a lot of snow melt, and so I'll show you up here. With that, we have this happens like every spring. The runoff comes down off the hill, and it ends up, this is like over in that area, over where, and there's my low area, and the water comes down, pools in there, comes through here, and then the natural slope brings it down through, crosses my driveway, and then, oh, it's starting to snow, awesome. And it goes down that way. So, but it does that every year, and eventually I do plan on putting a culvert in the front of the driveway, so that I don't have to drive over all the water all the time, and it'll go into a culvert and do that. So anyway, I wanted to talk today real quick, as it's starting to snow now. That's freaking great. The government has done a continuing resolution to keep the government funded for 3 weeks. It's like complete waste of time, because now we're going to be in the same exact situation that if they don't make some kind of deal to do a long-term deal, we're just basically moving the problem down the road a small time. You know, I mean, 2.5, or I think it's actually 2.5 weeks, the government will be shutting down again if they can't come to some kind of agreement. And Mitch McConnell has agreed to meet with the Democrats and talk about DACA. That's the only concession he made, and then the Democrats decided, oh yeah, we better come to the table. Now here's the funny thing with this, okay? In 2013, it was the Republicans that forced the shutdown of the government, and they ended up looking really bad. And this time, it was the Democrats that caused the government to shut down, and they ended up looking really bad, and they realized that they were getting bad press on this. And it is an election year, of course, so we have to try to save face. And the amount of games that go on with this is absolutely ridiculous. And so everybody's scrambling, and you know, they've agreed that they're going to sit down and try to make some kind of deal with the whole DACA thing. And you know, it's like it's going to affect 800,000 you know, young men and women that came over here through no fault of their own with their parents. Their parents were illegal aliens. You know, a lot of these kids had no idea they were illegal aliens, because they were not born here. They were born, you know, south of the border somewhere, be it Mexico, El Salvador, or wherever, you know, just down, you know, south of the border. And so, you know, now they're doing this, they got that whole DACA thing that Obama put in, illegally of course, because they couldn't do it. So he did a presidential decision to give them that they could stay here, you know. Well, and like I said, as I said in the other video, it's not the kids' fault, okay? And I 100% agree with that. but they were not born in this country. They're not American citizens. Their parents did not come here the right way. So why should they get to stay forever and ever? You know, it's not right. I'm sorry. You know, there's a legal process in which, from whatever country you're coming from, that you can legally get into the United States. And a lot of people have to do it that way. They just don't cross the border and there you are, you know, free ride. It doesn't work like that. No, I know a lot of these kids are going to college and they're working and stuff like that, but that's not the point. The point is they came here illegally, unfortunately, not through no fault of their own, but their parents did it, and you know, you're not an American citizen. And so it's just, the system is so screwed up, it is unbelievable, and our, you know, borders are so porous that it's like, you know, no big deal at all. You know, and I'm going to talk about the Canadian border for a second. And I can remember, like I said, I mean, we never had to have a passport to go up to Canada. I've never had a passport in my life, and I couldn't even tell you how many times I was in Canada. And so, you know, like even myself and my stepson, when Josh was like 8, what I did, him and I would go up to see the Yankees up in Toronto. And so I would get a letter from his mom and his dad, because obviously his mom was my wife, and we would also get, you know, a letter from his dad saying, yes, I had permission to take him up to go see the Yankees, and you know, blah blah blah, and all that type of stuff, and that I was his stepfather. So you know, but Josh and I would go up every year and go see the Yankees play in Toronto, and it was a lot of fun. We used to have a freaking blast. But anyway, you know, we would cross the border all the time, and I'll tell you a funny story, okay? So I was 18 years old, my buddy was 17, and we had gone up to Canada. Well, drinking age in Canada was not, you know, like it is here in the United States. Well, like when 6 months before I turned 18, they raised it to 19. 6 months before I turned 19, they raised it to 21. So I was just missed both times, which was really frustrating at that point, but it happens. So anyway, we had gone up to Canada, and I think the Canadian drinking age is still 19, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, I'm 18, my buddy's 17, so we go hang out in this bar, and we're drinking pretty much all day, and so it ended up being like, we got there like at 11 in the morning, and the bar opened up, and we were there till like 6 o'clock at night. It's pretty hammered, not you know, one of my finest moments. So we get back out into the parking lot, and there's these two guys, and they go, you know, they saw the New York license plates, and they're like, you know, where are you guys going? I said, well, we're heading back to the United States. And so they were like, well, hey, we have some family in Buffalo. Would you take us across the border? And I'm freaking hammered. I mean, I'm hammered. I'm like, yeah, sure, hop in the car. So, you know, we get to the border, and this is how bad it was. I mean, I get through the checkpoint with absolutely no problem, drunk out of my mind at 18 years old. Now, obviously, folks, I should not have been driving, but we don't always make the smartest decisions at that age. So we get across the border, and I turn around to the guys, and I said, okay, we're in the United States now. I said, where are you really going? And they go, what do you mean? I said, we're already across the border. You're in the United States. You can tell me the truth. Where are you really going? They said, we're going to Florida. So I knew they were lying. They weren't meeting anybody in Buffalo. But so I helped 2 illegal aliens cross into the United States when I was 18 years old. And I think they were just on an adventure. They probably ended up going home at some point, I'm sure. But I never heard from them again. We dropped them off at a truck stop so they could get a ride with a trucker. And that's the last we heard, you know. I mean, so, but the thing is, it's like, if it was that easy to get in, you know, then, and even now there's areas in, you know, between the United States and Canada where it's really easy to cross over. It's not a big deal. But, you know, it's even worse down in this, you know, the southern border. So it happens all the time. People are crossing over all the time. And there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And it's just, you know, so that's what I was going to say about that. But the government continues to, you know, kick the can down the road, if you will, with this continuing resolution and not getting anything done. They need to come to some kind of a deal to, you know, keep things going. I think the Democrats got a lot of flack because of the fact that, you know, our servicemen and women were not getting paid, and that was a big deal while they still were getting paid. They need to have a resolution put in that if they can't get things squared away, that they don't get paid. That would be a nice thing to change. And there's a lot that should be changed in Washington, to be honest with you, but that's you know, just something I wanted to talk about. Somebody had asked me about doing a video on my near-death experience, and I have done one in the past, but I will do another one and sit down so that, you know, I know it's like I have a ton of videos, so I'll do another one on that for you guys. So, you know, explain what happened to me. I have zero fear of death because of my experience that I had when I was 16 years old. So anyway, I will talk to you guys all tomorrow, and I hope everybody's doing well as I'm getting snowed on out here, but that looks like it stopped again for the moment. But anyway, remember guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. And remember, STD, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever goals you're trying to reach, you can do it. And the only one that's going to stop you from getting there is yourself. And that's it, you know. You can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. Hopes and dreams are all we have. And, you know, if we don't have hopes and dreams, we got nothing. So work on your hopes and dreams, because it's worthwhile. It really, truly is. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.